Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. So, reading from Canto 4, chapter 22, verse number 34. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Canto 4, chapter 2, chapter 22, verse 34. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirishu dharmartha kama mokshanam yadatyanta vighatakam. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirishu dharmartha kama mokshanam yadatyanta vighatakam. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirishu dharmartha kama mokshanam yadatyanta vighatakam. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirishu dharmartha kama mokshanam yadatyanta vighatakam. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirishu dharmartha kama mokshanam yadatyanta vighatakam. Na kuryat karhichit sangam tamastivram titirishu dharmartha kama mokshanam yadatyanta vighatakam. Na, do not, kuryat, act, karhichit, at any time, sangam, association, tamaha, ignorance, tivram, with great speed, titirishu, persons who desire to cross over nescience, dharma, religion, artha, economic development, kama, sense gratification, mokshanam, of salvation, yat, that which, atyanta, very much, vighatakam, obstruction or stumbling block. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Those who strongly desire to cross the ocean of nescience must not associate with the modes of nature, modes of ignorance. For hedonistic activities are the greatest obstruction to realization of religious principles, economic development, regulated sense gratification, and at last liberation. The four principles of life allow one to live according to religious principles, to earn money according to one's position in society, to allow the senses to enjoy the sense objects according to regulations, and to progress along the path of liberation from this material attachment. As long as the body is there, it is not possible to become completely free from all these material interests. It is not, however, recommended that one act only for sense gratification and earn money for that purpose only, sacrificing all religious principles. At the present moment, human civilization does not care for religious principles. It is, however, greatly interested in the economic development without religious principles. For instance, in a slaughterhouse, the butchers certainly get money easily, but such business is not based on religious principles. Similarly, there are many nightclubs for sense gratification and brothels for sex. Sex, of course, is allowed in married life, but prostitution is prohibited because all our activities are ultimately aimed at liberation. At present, at freedom from the clutches of material existence. Similarly, although the government may license liquor shops, this does not mean that liquor shops should be opened unrestrictedly and illicit liquor smuggled. Licensing is meant for restricting. No one has to take a license for sugar, wheat, or milk because there is no need to restrict these things. In other words, it is advised that one not act in a way that will obstruct the regular process of advancement in spiritual life and liberation. The Vedic process of sense gratification is therefore planned in such a way that one can economically develop and enjoy sense gratification and yet ultimately attain liberation. Vedic civilization offers us all knowledge in the Shastras. And if we live a regulated life under the direction of Shastras and Guru, all our material desires will be fulfilled. At the same time, we will be able to go forward to liberation. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamala Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatamidam Tam Sarivam Sadhaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vichakam Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare न कुर्यात् कर्हिचित् संगम तमस्तीव्रम तितिरिषु धर्मार्थ काम मोक्षाणाम यदत्यंत विघातकम. Those who strongly desire to cross the ocean of nescience must not associate with the modes of ignorance, for hedonistic activities are the greatest obstruction to realization of religious principles, economic development, regulated sense gratification, and at last liberation. Hare Krishna. So we are reading this chapter entitled Prithu Maharaj meeting with the Kumaras. So the Chatush Kumaras are giving their association to Prithu Maharaj and narrating wonderful Krishna Katha and giving wonderful instructions here. And this particular sequence of verses, they are telling about association and the goal of life. So in the previous verses, it was mentioned that there is no stronger obstruction to one's self-interest than thinking other subject matter to be more pleasing than one's self-realization. Actually, self-realization is the most important duty of all the Jivatmas. But if by bad association they start developing other desires for sense gratification, then that is the most unfortunate thing. Because one has got this human life after many, many births. But after getting human life, if one does sense gratification, then that is waste of human life. Right? Srimad Bhagavatam says that one should not waste this time for sense gratification. Kamasya na indriya priti. Labho jivete avada. Jivasya tattva jignasa nartho ishchehe karmabhihi. But the goal of life is not sense gratification, but it is tattva jignasa. One should inquire about what is life. One should inquire about who is God and try to understand, try to get answers to these questions. But if one lives life for sense gratification, that is no better than animal life. As Rishabdev told his sons, that this sense gratification is available even to hogs and dogs. If human being also indulges in sense gratification, then he is no better than a hog or a dog. So we have to do Krishna consciousness, we have to inquire about Krishna consciousness. So when can we inquire about Krishna consciousness, or when can we actually practice Krishna consciousness? So that's possible when we come to the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, Krishna consciousness is easily practiced. In the mode of passion and ignorance, very difficult to practice. One can begin the practice, but it is very difficult because there are so many obstacles. That's in this today's particular verse. So Kumaras are telling that don't associate with tamoguna. Na kuruyat kahrichit sangam. Tamas tivram. Titirishu. Titirishu means to cross over. Those who are desiring to cross over this material existence should not associate with tamoguna, ignorance. Why? Because they are very deadly for spiritual life. Those association with tamoguna leads to unwanted desires. Right? See, the modes are like modes are infectious. No? When you contact them, you catch their infection. If somebody is sick with cold and cough, if you sit near to him, what may happen? The infection may come to us also. Next day you will also start sneezing, coughing, and throat infection. So this is how the infection spreads from one person to another. But if one's immunity is strong, you may not get affected, because the immunity is strong, the virus doesn't, even if enters our body, it doesn't infect us. But if you are weak in immunity, then we catch the infection. Similarly, one may catch the infection of Sattva-guna, Rajaguna and Tamoguna also. And a person infected by these three modes, they behave in a peculiar way, which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Right? All of you may be knowing. Right? What is the symptom of a person in goodness? Sukham and Jnanam. Sukha Sangyena Vadnati, Jnana Sangyena Chanaga. So he is in knowledge about what is right and what is wrong, and he is also Sukha Sangyena Vadnati, Jnana Sangyena. Yeah. So he is in knowledge of what is right and what is wrong, and he is satisfied, happy. That's why sometimes mode of goodness people also don't take to pure bhakti. They are pious, but they don't take to pure devotional service because they think we are happy. So sukha sangena badnati, that's bondage. And there is no liberation. Sukha sangena cha jnana sangena cha badnati, like bound by two of them. Right? Why should I take to Krishna consciousness? I am so happy. मेरे घर ही वैकुंठ है. My children are so wonderful. मेरे संसार ही is very happy. So there are no major diseases or problems in our life. We have sufficient wealth, we have sufficient good health, property, everything is there. So no need of Krishna consciousness. Why to practice so seriously? So they don't take up serious spiritual life. And Rajaguna people, their characteristic is Sangha and Krishna. So Sangha means attachment, Krishna means hankering. They are attached to what they have and they want more and more and more. I want more. So that is the mood of a Rajasic person. So a person who is infected by Rajaguna, you will see that he will always run behind Sangha, Krishna. He is hankering and he works hard for attaining material pleasures. So that is Rajaguna. And most of the population is affected by Rajaguna and Tamaguna. Especially in cities, you will see a lot of passion. When Srila Prabhupada went to America and he saw Boston from a distance, he saw skyscraper buildings, factories and cars moving fast. Oh my God, these people are so passionate, they can't even sit and listen. How can I give them Krishna consciousness? Rajastamo gunera sabhaiya chana. Everybody is covered by Rajaguna and Tamaguna. Right? Vasudeva katharuchi nahi se prasanna. Right? How can they understand Vasudeva Katha? How can they develop taste for this? So Prabhupada is praying. Because people are covered by Tamaguna and Rajaguna, preacher has to pierce those modes and touch their heart. That's the task of a preacher. And they don't want to come out of the shell of Rajaguna, Tamaguna. They are comfortable there. If you try to disturb them, they will say, hey, no, Hare Krishna में नहीं जाएंगे. Right? अपना खाना पीना बंद हो जाएगा. We can't eat whatever we like to eat, right? And we can't drink whatever we like to drink. We can't get up. They have the habit of getting up at 8 o'clock. अपना नींद खराब हो जाएगा. So they feel disturbed initially if you tell all the rules and regulations. So we have to give the injection with anesthesia, so in a way that he doesn't feel the pain. You have to give the medicine in the way he happily takes it. So like mother gives the medicine with some food or sweet. So खाते medicine भी चला जाता है. So similarly, Krishna conscious devotee preachers also should mix Krishna conscious in such a way that people appreciate. If you just call them, come and sit here, I'll give a lecture. Hardly people are interested in that kind of thing. So but if you do kirtan, initially wonderful kirtans, they like kirtans, they get hooked onto the holy name, and slowly they start developing taste for hearing also. Give them prasadam, they come for prasadam, and they get attached to hearing. So in this way, like our Sankarshan Prabhu started on program, and 40-50 people are attending every week. So he was telling Puruji, people like prasadam so much, this Pisi Vadapa, this Khichdi, this temple prasad, with so much respect they take Puruji. Because in India, people have that natural respect for prasadam. See some sweet, some whatever prasad comes from temple, they like it. And they come, attend the program, take prasad. And now they want more. 6-day course is getting over, they want 18-day Bhagavad Gita course. They themselves are proposing. Means what? They started getting attracted to it. So the preacher is able to attract them and hold them in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada prayed that these people are covered by Rajoguna and Tamoguna. How can I make them understand? But I am sure that if they develop ruchi for Vasudeva Katha, then their modes of ignorance and passion will be destroyed. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalobhadaschai chaitayetera vidham sthitam sattve prasidati. Their chitta will be free from Rajoguna and Tamoguna and they become situated in Sattva. Then they will be happy. Prasidati. A person in Sattva becomes very happy actually. First stage is he will become happy. Then he will become blissful. When he goes to Shuddha Sattva, he becomes blissful, ecstatic. So first thing is to come to the mode of Sattva. You have to bring the people to the mode of Sattva. Their lifestyle should be sattvic, their eating should be sattvic, their dressing should be sattvic. Initially you may see people coming with half pant and jeans to the temple. And then by seeing the culture, they were eating prasadam. And slowly they start coming in dhoti kurta. Isn't it? So there was one person who was coming in pant shirt initially, now he's coming in dhoti kurta. Just prasadam serving also. So that change happens by Krishna consciousness. Right? And even by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, either in the form of kirtan or by japa, you will see that the modes keep changing. The infection is very severe initially, but by taking Krishna consciousness, it becomes mild. Initially, the symptoms of cough and cold may be very intense, severe, but when you start taking medicine, the symptoms start reducing, they go away. Person becomes healthy. Similarly, when we start chanting Krishna consciousness, Hare Krishna mantra, then the infection of Rajoguna, Tamoguna reduces, Sattva increases, a person becomes happy. And when he continues chanting, that Sattva also goes away. When he comes to Shuddha Sattva. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdidam. So he comes to the stage of Vishuddha Sattva stage. Yadiyate Tatra Puman where he sees the Supreme Lord clearly in his heart. So that's why it is important that one should overcome Sattva and these three modes of the influence of the three modes of material nature. But especially if one is infected with Tamoguna, it is very difficult to practice even basic dharma. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, which are prescribed in the Shastras, that is also difficult to practice. Prabhupada said here, hedonistic activities. What is hedonistic activities? Sinful activities. Hedonistic activities. That which is not prescribed in the Shastras. Dharma, Artha, Kama Mokshanam Atyanta Vighatakam. Vighatam is destroyer of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Generally, people cannot take up to pure Krishna consciousness. That's why there is a gradual process mentioned in the Vedas. What is gradual process? Okay, follow Dharma. You want to do sense gratification? Okay, regulated sense gratification allowed. But in a dharmic way. So, Dharma means following the regulations given in Shastras. Okay, somebody wants a child, there is scripture. Somebody wants money, there is scripture. How to get that? Somebody has desire to become famous, there is scripture. Rules and regulations are there. By following that dharma, one gets artha. With artha, he can fulfill kama. And if you want to fulfill your desires, then you have to do dharma. And then you will get artha, wealth. With wealth, you can fulfill that kama. Then after fulfilling his material desires in a regulated way, then he can become free from those desires, understanding the futility of those desires. These are very temporary. And how much pleasure I can get from sense gratification is very, very tiny. So then he starts turning towards moksha. So this gradual process is generally recommended for people in general. But if somebody is in tamoguna, this also becomes very difficult for him. So Prabhupada is telling that in the purport. It is not, however, recommended that one act only for sense gratification and earn money for that purpose only, sacrificing all religious principles. Some people, what they do, they want only kama without dharma. That is not recommended. Right? Sense gratification in a dharmic way is allowed, but sense gratification without dharma is sinful. That's vikarma. At the present moment, human civilization does not care for religious principles. It is, however, greatly interested in economic development without religious principles. Example, butcher shop. So people are making so much of money, isn't it? How many butcher shops, gali mein, you will find rampant meat eating going on nowadays. Right? Recently, Bhaktivedanta class was discussing, in the last 20 years, so much of meat eating has increased. Like anything, it's promoted. Right? I saw on vegetable market shop, a lot of vegetables and eggs also there in the shop. So they are selling eggs and people are buying kgs of eggs and going. So rampant going on. So a lot of money is there. But it is adharma. They are fulfilling their desires but without following dharma. If somebody wants to eat meat, there is a regulation in the Shastra. Okay, you have to butcher the animal on the Amosya night in front of Kali temple and then distribute certain portions and you can take one portion. That rule and regulation is there and you have to chant Mam Saha. In the ear of the animal you have to chant Mam Saha. I will become you in the next life and you will eat me. Mam Saha Khadati iti Mam Saha. But who is following this? If one follows that, at least he is doing sense gratification in a dharmic way. And by doing that, gradually he will get elevated. Because he will realize, oh, mamsa khadati, iska meaning kya hai? Koi bolega, अरे मैं तुमको खाऊंगा अगले जन्म में. ऐसा है क्या? So then slowly he may give it up. But here somebody is killing, somebody is buying, somebody is cooking, somebody is eating. There is no connection. So, and even small children are being promoted to eat chicken. Right? That is becoming. And you ask children, what is your favorite item? Biryani pudding. So, people are being brainwashed to think that which is not good to be good. Thorough brainwashing is going on. But the people say ISKCON is brainwashing people. Yeah, literally. Somebody wants to join Hare Krishna movement and preach, people say, isko brainwash kar diya kisi. Hare Krishna wale. But actually, who is brainwashing? The media is brainwashing. Propaganda is brainwashing. Sunday hoya, Monday, roz kha vandi. Itne logon ko brainwash kiya. That advertisement. Isn't it? So, people are being... You will not find rice advertisement. You will not find... what is that? Vegetables advertisement. You will not find jawar advertisement. What you will find? Meat advertisement. Propaganda. So this propaganda is, Prabhupada said that there is no one has to take a license for sugar, wheat or milk. Because there is no need to restrict these things. But for other things, so Prabhupada is telling the context that sinful activity should be regulated. Sex has to be regulated only with wife, not with others. Okay, if somebody wants to have other illicit relationship, okay, prostitution. That also regulated. Not that anybody can be prostitute anywhere. There's a specific area. There only prostitution is legalized. Otherwise, can't spoil other woman. Because government knows there are some people who want illicit sex. That's why there is regulated. Okay, there's an area there. Some prostitutes will be there. You go. Regulation. And drinking also there is regulation, restriction, only between this time to this time. Only these licensed shops can sell. Desi daru nahi chalega. Right? Some people make it their home and sell. That is illegal. Because recently in Tamil Nadu, some people drank like that and they died. 20, 30 of them died. Isn't it? So legalize. So government knows that there is need for these things, so they regulate it. But there is no need to regulate essential items. Isn't it? So it means what? People want kama without following rules and regulations. Without following dharma. So dharma is first. Then comes artha, kama, and then moksha. So the Vedic process of sense gratification is therefore planned in such a way that one can economically develop and enjoy sense gratification and yet ultimately attain liberation. So gradually progress hota hai. Artha, kama, moksha. It should end with moksha. Vedic civilization offers us all knowledge in the Shastras, and if we live a regulated life under the direction of Shastras and Guru, all our material desires will be fulfilled. At the same time, we will be able to go forward to liberation. So now devotees, we just have to worry about practicing Krishna consciousness. And when you practice Krishna consciousness, automatically you will see that all your other desires will get fulfilled also. What did Dhruva Maharaj do? He had a great material desire. The greatest material desire. You can't even imagine. Somebody wants to become Karodpati, right? Somebody wants to open a company, somebody wants to lose people. But here Dhruva Maharaj had a desire. I want a planet. We have not seen anybody having such a big material desire. But solution given to him was practice Krishna consciousness. So he went to the forest, chanted mantras for 6 months, and it so happened that all his material desire went away. Right? Sthanabilashi tapasi sthitoham tvam prapyavan deva munindra guhyam kachan vichinvam apidivya ratnam swamin kirthartosmi varam nayache. I came here with the desire to attain a sthana bigger than Brahma's. But now I have all those material desires gone away. Swamin kirthartosmi varam nayache. Because I have found something better than that. What is that? Krishna Prema. I have attained you, O Lord. So I don't need anything else. Varam nayache. So Krishna consciousness is the best process to fulfill all your desires. Because Lord gave him Krishna Prema, at the same time he gave him Dhruvaloka also. So both are achieved in Krishna consciousness, and it is safe. Because after attaining Krishna, a devotee will not misuse the material facilities. Krishna in chapter 5th canto, for prayers by the residents of Jambudvipa, residents of Bharatavarsha, there is a verse which says that that if somebody has a material desire, a devotee has a material desire, Lord will fulfill it in such a way that he will not hanker for it again. इस तरीके से पूरा करेंगे उसको कि भक्त बोले प्रभु नहीं चाहिए, I don't want it no more. Right? What is that verse? Not recollecting. Famous verse. Ichhapidanam nijapada pallavam. Ichhapidanam. He says that na punararthitayata. He will fulfill in such a way that he should not ask again for it. So that's why devotee should seriously practice Krishna consciousness. And Bhajtam anicchatam ichhapidanam nijapada pallavam. He says that the Lord will fulfill in such a way that he will give his lotus feet, service to the lotus feet, and the devotee will not hanker for the material desire again. So that's why if you practice Krishna consciousness, that is the best path. Now some people may get into this dharma, artha, kama, to fulfill all to karma kanda activities. Vedas talk about it. And even in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Prachina Parishad are doing that, doing so many yajnas, pujas, homas. But Narada Muni condemned that. Even, in fact, he condemned Vyasadeva. He chastised him. He says that यथा धर्मादेश्चार्थ मुनिवर्य अनुकीर्तितः न तथा वासुदेवस्य महिमा हि अनुवर्णितः. In first canto he says, "Hey, O Muni, you have described yatha dharma adeshcha artha munivarya anukirtita." Dharma, artha, kama, moksha you have described elaborately at different places in the Shastras. But na tata vasudevasya mahima anuvarnitaha. You have not described mahima of Lord Vasudeva repeatedly again and again. So this is your fault. So that's why you should write a book which glorifies only Krishna. Jugupsitam dharma kriti anushasatah svabhavaraktasya Jugupsitam dharma kriti anushasatah. He says that people na manyate tasya nivaranam janah. You have given some sanctions in the Shastras. Okay, you can do this, you can enjoy these desires. Along with restrictions you have given it. But people will not consider the restrictions, they will just enjoy. That's what will happen, Narada Muni says. So that's what Narada Muni says. Your all writings are just waste of time. Manyeta darshanam khilam. It's waste. Whatever you have done till now is waste. Because people will not consider your restrictions, they will just enjoy the sense gratification what you have given without restriction. Unrestrictedly they will enjoy. So this is not going to work. That's why prescribe pure devotional service only. That's why you will see in ISKCON we don't have any karma kanda. We just chant Hare Krishna, hear Bhagavatam, worship the deities, go to holy places. Just pure devotional service. Of course, in the association of devotees. Pure devotees. That's what is prescribed. And we say, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitam va jagadishakami. That's our formula. Don't hanker for material desires. Just ask for Krishna. And Krishna will give you whatever is needed. Whatever is good for us, whatever quantity is good for us, Krishna will provide. And be satisfied with that. Don't hanker for more. This is how a Krishna conscious devotee should lead his life. Not hanker unnecessarily for material sense gratification. There are some case studies are also there. No? Some devotees they start doing some material endeavors in such a way that they lose their Krishna consciousness and work hard, and they don't attain that also, neither this also. They compromise their Krishna consciousness for attaining material goals, but they end up doing what? Nothing. They neither attain success there, nor they attain success in Krishna consciousness. So better is to prioritize Krishna consciousness, do Krishna consciousness properly, and Krishna will provide whatever is needed and be happy with that. So that's how we should lead our life. So I'll pause here. If there are any questions on this topic, we have 2-3 minutes.
What does that mean? How do you take the association?
Yeah, take the association modes. Associating with people who are in Tamoguna. What is the symptom of Tamoguna? Nidra, alasya, pramadam, who are mad for sense gratification, who are lazy, who are always sleeping. You sleep with a partner who is getting up at 7 o'clock. You'll see. 2 दिन में पता चल जाएगा. आप 7 बजे उठते हैं, हम भी ठीक है लेट उठेंगे. But you sleep with people who get up at 4 o'clock. चलो चलो रेडी हो जाओ, सब लोग उठ गए, हम भी उठ जाएंगे. आपका मूड वो इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है. or you watch something in ignorance. Gadgets are in ignorance. So if you spend too much time with gadgets, we also start becoming mechanical in our bhakti, because we are associated with machine too much. Right? We become impersonal because of association with tamoguna. And you start sleeping late in the night, 11 baje, 12 baje har din. It's the association of tamoguna. When you start feeling lazy, tamasic. Right? So people in mode of ignorance, people in mode of times in mode of ignorance, food in mode of ignorance. You eat ignorant items, infection आ जाएगा. Right? What is the food item in mode of ignorance? यातयामं गतरसं पोति परुषितं उच्चिष्टम अपिचामेध्यम भोजनम तामसप्रियम. Right? So one gets the infection from these things. You hear tamasic music, you get infected with tamoguna. So that's why we should keep ourselves in sattva by following sattvic lifestyle. Our previous samskaras will try to drag us down to rajoguna tamoguna, but we should keep pushing ourselves to keep ourselves in sattva-guna. By getting up early, taking bath, coming to temple, chanting Hare Krishna attentively, hearing Bhagavatam class, eating sattvic prasad, right? Associating with devotees. In this way, sattva-guna can be maintained. More you maintain sattva-guna, the effect of rajoguna tamoguna will reduce. They may be there, but it will not be so serious infection. Mild symptoms may be there. And over a period of time, by practice of Krishna consciousness, that mild infection will also go away. Okay? Hare Krishna. श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय, श्री गुरुपाद की जय.